Hello everyone, and welcome to a new video. Today I decided to do something different, but also, yes, I am doing some more Quantum TV stuff, but we'll get to that much later in the video. I just wanted to do this because originally I thought that there was not much content to do, but I'm going to just combine the two videos together because, I said that I wouldn't talk about it unless something big happened, and this is pretty big and also pretty upsetting. But let's read some of the interesting comments that I've gotten on my last few videos. Now, I'm going to have the comments up on the screen as well as what video they're associated with. I'm going to also link all the videos in the description down below as well as everyone that I talk about in this video. But for now, let's just get right into the comments here. So this comment from, I got a few here. So this comment from, I think this is from the Quantum TV one, very topical. I'm going to start with this, where it says, "Thank you for making a vid about this. Like, we don't have 100. You are just trying to cash in on the drama for views." And this is by Bob Newbie. Oh yeah, this guy. Yep, this guy also made another series of comments that I kind of talked about later on down the line. But we'll just do the whole string of Bob Newbie right now, because it's fun. So Bob, let me just be very honest and clear and say that, while yes, that is true, there were 100 videos on this topic, I thought that the video on this topic could actually, be good because of several different factors. Now again, this is more or less because, well, yeah, of course I'm trying to cash in on it. Who the fuck wouldn't? Most of those videos that are there that have this have gotten at least 10 to 15 times the normal amount of views that I have. I will take those views and more people and more eyes on my channel. And then he goes on to then say, at GamePeng121, clout chasing for views, I see. And then I kind of respond with oh, hey, this is my first actual hate comment. Thanks, guy. Well, it kind of was, or at least it felt that way to me because of the sort of kind of way that you were wording that. It says, "Low, I guess if you want to look at it like that. You made this like many others have in hopes of being the next mischief. Hope you do." Again, not necessarily true, but also not necessarily entirely false. I made the video because I thought that I could actually add something more to the content, and I tend to try to pick my videos dependent on how much I can add to it. There are vastly many videos on YouTube that I could have easily made videos on, but this one seemed like the best one to do at the time. Not only that, it's essentially because it's just fun to make videos and fun to make fun of people. Again, I don't make a video that often because I don't find some of the topics there really intelligent enough to make a video. But again, your whole comment thread just kind of makes me think that way. It says, I do this for funsies, nothing more. I'm not even getting paid or anything on this. I have less than 1,000 subscribers. There's no way that I'm getting paid or cashing in on something to try to grow, well, for money. I'm doing this just because I think it's hilarious. It says, "So you follow trends and make videos about them when they are hot off the press and have been covered. That's a clout chaser." No, it's not. You see, a clout chaser wouldn't add anything new to the conversation. I do, and I try to add new things and try to add new aspects to the conversation that no one seems to really be talking about. One of the interesting things that I've even talked about is that very few people have commented on specific aspects of this whole drama. For example, there was a Discord message that I made fun of because, again, I thought that I could add this to it, and I didn't see anyone else actually talking about it, or at least commentating in the way that I thought would be interesting. Number two, I also tend to take a lot of inspiration from other content creators, hence why I've covered people like Harmon Smith, and hence why I've also covered people like Lucas and Big Man Gamers and even Malcolm, all of which I have found from the commentary community and thought that I could add my own spin and thought that I could add my own actual content to it. Just because you say that I am a, quote, clout chaser doesn't necessarily mean that that's true. Again, if I was a clout chaser, I wouldn't be adding anything new to the conversation. It's as simple as that. Now, I'm not sure which comment thread this is from, but I'm fairly certain it's from the comments on one of the Quantum TV videos. I forget. But again, Mr. Bob, or I should say Mr. Newbie, at least I'm trying to add something new to the conversation that not many people seem to be talking about. We'll get into that in a little bit because, again, I'm going to be commentating on this whole thing. Yes. This one is actually one from from my most popular video, which just so happens to be my sniper switching to the pistols faster than reloading. I see annoying marksman, I downvote. Well, you, sir, are dumb, because I've only played marksman a number of times, and it was just a funny moment that I just happened to capture. Again, marksman is okay in squad concurrently, but that doesn't mean that I'm not annoying to it. I don't play marksman all the time. It's just because I had it at the time, and it was trying to be having fun. Squad sucks. Too dumb recoil. I mean, it's more realistic than you would probably want to say, but just because you say the squad sucks doesn't actually mean that it sucks. Just your opinion, man, but I respect that. I understand that it's not for everyone. Yes, and this is interesting because I had 2 comments that were just happened to be summaries of the actual full sort of 2 summaries of the video that was the 30 seconds, where most of my stuff didn't actually hit or kill or anything. And yeah, most of the shots that I had were basically the ones that missed. If you didn't realize that, it was because, well, there were several reasons, and I just ran out of ammo. You've just seen the clip. You've probably seen it. But it's weird that I had 2 people doing the exact same thing. One with a /S at the bottom, and the other one just happened to do that. It's also having the same, another one happened to be the exact same, just without the /S. And I don't know what that means. Maybe it's the same person. I highly doubt that, but it just seems like the person copy-pasted it and tried to respond to a different comment. So, congratulations. You seem to be far better than me, I guess. And finally, we have a Mr. Assen Chop, who I checked out this channel because this was one of the actual genuine hate comments, so we'll read this out. This one was again on this one was actually on a Big Man Gamers one, and this is interesting to me because I just wanted to, we'll read it out. Seriously, obvious satire is obvious. You got. Here's your L. That video has way more views. That video has like the same amount of views as I have subscribers. Not only that, I checked out your channel, and I'm not one to numbers shame, but if my video can get more views than, can get the same amount of views that is for like the amount of viewers that I have, that's not an L. That's actually a very positive thing. So if what you say is me, quote, falling for obvious satire, even though you have no idea what the heck I'm even talking about, because again, you don't seem to know the person's clout or the fact that I actually have covered this person before, and the fact that I have said in the video that I think this is satire, but I'm not sure about a trolling video, that doesn't mean that I got. If I know what it is going in and it's still a stupid point that the person is trying to make, guess what? Just because you think that it's satire doesn't make it satire immediately. And you're saying, oh, obvious satire is obvious. That's not true. If you know this person's channel, which is again Big Man Gamers, he constantly uploads this same thing over and over again. To be very clear, this is not a fucking blank video. That is the YouTube content creator blank, who used to be just kind of going out there for hate views, and then deleted his channel as well as several different YouTube videos over the course of the periods. I really should go back and see if I can recover some of the videos, because again, one of the interesting things is that he got into a little bit of a spat with, well, Griffin Gaming, and in total he thought that he needed to be, you know, actually paid for because he was made via covering blank, which is completely not fucking true. Because again, the thing is that blank didn't do anything in the majority of the channel. We only covered him twice and got like a collective like 100k, 200k views ish per video on blank. But that's only because he's like a 200, 300k version channel anyway. So yeah, people are covering it. But again, it's one of those things where it's like, obvious satire is obvious. Fucking obviously, that's why I covered it, because it's a stupid, dumb video, and I ran out of clever halfway through commentating over this comment. But again, if what you're saying is an L in the sense that, well, you know, I get like 100 or so ish views off of this obvious satire when I'm trying to add something new to the conversation. If that's an L to you, I would happily take that L over your supposed W. So cool. Also, by the way, just because I'm commentating and, quote, sort of insulting people, that doesn't make me a nasty person, at least not by my own definition. I'm commentating over these because, again, I'm trying to add something new to the conversation. And I mean no harm by this. I'm, again, just making fun of these comments because, well, there's really nothing else to talk about, and I really didn't want to talk about much else in this whole video. And, well, the Quantum TV stuff is just icing on an already perfectly sized cake, which we'll get into in a second. But I don't mean anything too nasty by this, and anyone who says that I'm being an asshole or not being kind to my viewers, if you're not kind to me, I don't think that you deserve kindness in return. If you were to say, be trolling me in some aspects, like with a /s, or just being, like, trying to be kind and I seem like I'm a dick, that's kind of more of just a mask that I put on. And to be genuine, I don't hate any of you guys. All content is good, all, engagement is good engagement, but to anyone else out there that is going to say, oh, well, you're just being mad and salty and bad to your viewers, I'm not. I'm really just making fun of it because there's nothing else to be going on, and I thought that this would just be a funny little video to talk about. Anyway, so, to wrap this video up, I think we're going to take the next, 5 to 10 minutes to actually talk about what has happened to the Quantum TV event. The main attraction to this video, probably. But, let's just talk about this. So, we have confirmation that YouTube has done absolutely, or will do absolutely nothing to Quantum TV because he deleted all of the evidence, or at least the evidence that YouTube was willing to look into. Even though we have all these other evidences and all these other people talking about this content, guess what? Yeah, even though there was a, quote, thorough investigation, nothing is going to be coming out of this. So I'm going to throw this up on the screen. This is a tweet from the Actman, or at least the email verification and things that the Actman received from YouTube. You can go ahead and read it on your own. I'm going to just give very basic cliff notes. Do make sure that you pause because I'm not going over everything here. Other people will definitely be going over this, and again, I will probably link the Actman's YouTube channel or YouTube video that he's going to be making on this because he's making another one, of course. So yeah, but let's just call this what this is, and that is them not wanting to be getting involved in this, which is why in one of the other interesting cases that a Mr. Angry Blue Hat Man v. a whole bunch of YouTubers is going to court still. I'm not sure about the updates on that concurrently, but I do know that the last time that I checked, most, if not all of his actual case has been thrown out, or at least half of it has. 50 to 60% of his case has already been thrown out of the courtroom because it was all under fair use and it was just kind of fucking stupid for that reason. But we're not here to cover that, and I said that I wouldn't cover it any more than I need to, but again, I will probably link Sid Alpha and Sid Alpha's channel in the description down below. Do be sure to actually donate because he does need that money to go to court. Anyway, so, confirmation from YouTube that after a, quote, thorough investigation, YouTube has found that Quantum TV is 100% innocent of all the charges that have been presented to it, even though we have documented evidence to go against this in several thousand different ways. Not just on the Facebook and the Twitter posts that were, of course, now deleted, but, of course, just basically on YouTube. How the fuck do we not have enough evidence to put this guy out of his misery? It's so stupid. Now, again, they are unwilling to do any investigation, even if things like the Wayback Machine exists, even though I don't think that you can actually, use that in terms of evidence, I guess. But these were posted at some point, and again, people have the original videos in their entirety in the MP4 version. But again, just because they're not on the main channel just means that, oh, well, he must have learned his lesson, therefore he doesn't have anything to do with that, even though there has been times where he's been fucking doing shit. But whatever, and it's perfectly fine to do harassing children / minors and exists on the platform, and ecstatic to learn how much advertisers interfere to the content creators who do this and threaten with bogus lawsuits. One of the big things that I think is fucking stupid about this email is obscenely the fact that objectively he has violated the YouTube copyright terms of service and all that other stuff. Not only that, because he's also done something completely and utterly illegal, and he failed to file an actual legal document appropriately. failing to provide evidence, failing to provide the actual, like, relevant information, and doesn't even have the gall to leave the video up as evidence and as actual, you know, ways of proving that he's correct, even though he wants people to put him in the original context, but doesn't want us to use the actual videos in its entirety. Not only that, of course, there's a big old list with external links, speech, bullying, harassment, copyright abuse, blah, 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 blah. All that other good stuff. Again, pause the video, go read this whole thing. This is an infuriating document to read as well. I'm going to also put up the actual official email, but this is just the response that the Ackman had at that time. And of course, I said that I would make a video on this. So, yeah. Anyway, to be clear about this information and to be clear about this is a stupid freaking thing that shouldn't have even happened in the first place had he just let it go. But yeah, apparently the whole investigation and all that other stuff is for nothing. So I'm going to say this once and for all. If he does and has actually gone to external sources, fucking lawyer up. I don't know how else to say this, but lawyer up, take this to court, because there's really no other opportunity to really put him in his place. And again, you can't really sue him for defamation, and he's trying to sue you for defamation. That's not going to happen. And again, fair use has been a very interesting gray area, and of course we have used that, but that's the whole point of fair use, is because if we couldn't do fair use, and if we couldn't do like interpreting and creativity and other stuff like that, you are violating the free speech that you are touting, Mr. QuantumTV. You are violating specifically that free speech because of the fact that you are saying that you are not willing to listen to, say, valid criticism. Guess what? Valid criticism is free speech, and that valid criticism needs valid evidence, and that valid evidence is provided by you. Meaning that the entirety of your in-context conversation needs to be represented if you want that whole thing to be talked about. And you're saying, oh, they're taking me out of context. No, they're not. If they're actually providing the entirety of your video, that means that they're providing the entirety of your video in the context of that video and then rebuttaling it like it's an actual debate. I've said this before, and I'm saying this again. And yes, to those who are going to be saying, well, you're also doing that whole clout chasing thing. I said, yes, but I'm actually adding something to the conversation that not many people seem to be talking about. Or at least not many people that I see talk about this. To be very clear and to be very honest, the whole reason I'm covering this is because eventually I'm probably going to what I'd like to do personally is to do kind of an internet historian type thing where I cover internet historian / for the right opinion, where I cover the entirety of a drama, maybe years or so after it actually happens, doing a thorough investigation. But this right now is the best that I can do because, one, I'm lazy, and this is just the easiest way to pump content or to put content out on my channel effectively to help me grow, and two, it's also just fun to content and talk about it in the moment because normally I don't script these videos out. I have a full dedicated script to the entirety of this, and I need to add some notes to it now because eventually I want to cover it in full, in like a full 30-minute sit-down video that I just talk into. But that's not going to happen for quite some time. Again, I've been playing a lot of Elden Ring. I took a break to make this video because reasons, and yeah. So, to bring this to a somewhat close, the comments that I had received on the video and the comments that I had received overall, those were just funny to read. And again, there's some of it's true, some of it's not true, and I hope that I provided a little more evidence into what I'm talking about, and maybe a little bit more inside of my own brain. Number two, YouTube is apparently not going to do anything about QuantumTV, even though we have all of this evidence with him to say there's the reason why he should be taken off the platform, because it is a continuous cycle of complete and utter just gross misinterpretation of various YouTube aspects, and just overall I think that as of right now, QuantumTV needs to have at least some sort of repercussions and should be done something about, because if he can get away with it, and if Mr. Angry Blue Hat Man can get away with it, there are just so many reasons why people need to speak up about this. And the more people that do that, the more that YouTube might listen. I say might because it's not always guaranteed. Anyway, that's my whole thoughts on everything. Sorry that this went a little bit overboard, but I did want to put this entire thing into one video because, again, longer videos help me in the algorithm, and longer videos help me do other stuff. But all that being said, my bad. Shorter videos are coming out. Hopefully, I can get some actual videos together because it's going to be a slow week. Anyway, my name is GamePenguin21. I've talked for way too long, and he's...
You better get in line. Won't go another day.